Hi guys, today I thought I'd show you a really quick and easy way to do a little bit of watercoloring here. It's nothing fancy by all means, and everybody can do that if I can do that. And so I also wanted you to see how the glitter is on here. It's really pretty. And well, I'm just gonna get started right away. So when I watercolor, I actually prefer to use watercolor paper over everything, but since I made this card for a Stamp-A-Stack, we needed to use something that was a little bit more affordable to make lots of cards. And the next best thing would be the natural white cardstock, because it's easier to blend on that than on regular white cardstock. So we got that, and then I've got my butterfly stamp, and I'm using StazOn. I've just previously re-inked it, so it's nice and moist. You want it to be nice and dark. Those ink pads dry out pretty quickly, so ink them up on a regular base and try to remember to store them upside down like that. So now I got it stamped or inked up, let's put it that way, and now I'm going to stamp it. And for this card, I know I need my right wing more than my left one, so I don't care if my left one is on the page or not. So let's hope I didn't mess it up. Nope, there it is. And since I wiggled and pressed a little hard, I wanted you to see that I did have a smudge on the outside. For that card, I don't care because we are going to cut it out, so it's no big deal. I'm going to let that dry for just a second, and we're going to use re-inkers to color in. And I usually just use some old CDs or DVDs and put the re-inker liquid right on there. Any plastic surface will do. Put the blue down, and I'm going to put the yellow down, which is the So Saffron. The blue that I'm using is the Island Indigo, and then I'm using the Aqua Painters from Stampin' Up. I'm going to put that aside. Now I want to make sure, since I did just ink that up, that this is actually completely dry, so I'm just going to give it a quick whirl with the heat gun. So before actually going to use color, I'm using the Aqua Painter filled with water and no ink on it at all. And I'm just going to wash it with water. I'm just scribbling over the surface that I'm going to color in first, because when you moisten the paper, your ink will blend much quicker. And here is my blue from the CD. I'll just make it so you can see it. I'm just going to pick up some, and I'm going to wash it out first. I don't want it very high concentrated. And now I'm just going to wash that blue on there. If you need more, you can pick up some more. And see, there is really no science behind that right now. I am just going to wash that on there. I'm going to clean my pan. I'm going to wash the opposite wing just with the plain water. And then I'm going to move my butterfly up here. I'm going to pick up my paint or my ink again from over here. And I am just quickly washing that on. You can leave some white spots. That's actually what you would like. Now it might have been a little bit too much. You see how dark it is there? So I'm going to clean it and then just go back and move it around a little bit more. Very easily done. Maybe a little bit more on this wing, since I was darker on the other one previously. Then I'm going to clean my pen again, and I'm going to do the same to the yellow area. I just lay down some water, and I'm going to pick up my yellow. And on this one, I want it darker, so I'm already picking up some more. See, it's a lot more concentrated. I'm starting from the outside and going to come towards the blue, because my blue is probably still wet. I'm not going to let it meet yet. If I had taken more time, then it would be dry and it wouldn't bleed into each other. But I'm trying to do this on video, so I, don't want to waste all your time. I can always go back and go over it a little bit more, bring it closer to one another. Like right now. There, I can go back up here. There, I'm gonna color that in. Wash it down a little bit, and since I didn't clean my pen, I still got yellow on it, which will work in my advantage on this, you know, part. You just want to make sure you got the same color if you do that. You don't want to lay down the yellow and then put blue over it, because then it would probably stain it and make it green. And if I get some ink running outside the wings right now, I don't care, again, because we're going to cut that out. And let me see, the body is yellow too. There. So now I'm going to make sure it's completely dry, and for that I'm going to use my heat gun on it again. Alright, so now my area is dry, and now what I want to do is I'm going to focus on the really dark spots on the blue part of the wing. I am using the aqua painter again, and this time I am using it pretty dark. So, you know, you can wash it out a little bit, and I'm gonna go right over the areas that we want it darkened. And I'm just gonna color it in and blend it out. It's the exact same color as we used before, but now I don't have the color or the water wash underneath, plus I'm using the Island Indigo in full strength, and I didn't pull out the color on the disc first. I didn't wash it out. So these are the areas that are darker, and they're shaded. And you can even go in and thin out your ink a little bit on the disc, like that. See, I'm going to pick up some, but then I'm going to wash it out a little bit, and then you could go over some of the areas and kind of darken it if you want to. But there's some marks already on the wings that show you where they want you to shade it, and you can do that if you want to. You just go over those black marks to make it a little bit darker. You can tell I've got some spots where the yellow bled out. It's okay, it's watercoloring. It's not gonna be, you know, cut and dry perfect. That's artsy. It's all okay. And you're gonna do the same thing on the other side here. And I'm gonna show you when I'm done. Alright, so now I have it all colored in, and you can see where it's a lot darker in the shaded areas, and then I have some lighter and darker shading going on. It's easy because the stamp actually shows you where to do that, so you don't have to know where to shade. It's already on there. You just make those areas a little bit darker. I also took my brush and colored the outline here in the blue. Now I'm going to put the shimmer on, and I'm using the Champagne Mist Shimmer Paint. Just gonna shake the bottle a little bit, and it picked up the ink in the lid. And then I'm using a stipple brush. If you don't have that, you can use a sponge dauber. Just use a lot less ink on it, because this brush doesn't pick up a whole lot. So I'm just gonna pick that up, and then see how the ink comes off there. So now I'm just gonna stipple it on only the yellow area here, just a little bit, and that gives you the least amount that you have, and you don't get it everywhere. Like with a spritzer, you would have gotten it everywhere. And then now when we let it dry, we can cut it out and then use it on our card. Let me see if we actually get the shimmer to show up. Yeah, I think it shows up. Alright, well, have fun with this easy way to watercolor. Again, watercolor paper would be the best way to go. If you don't have that, you can use natural white, confetti white, which we don't sell anymore, but you may have it on hand, and shimmery white works pretty good too. Alright, have fun!